Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexandrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta Tierra.
We're here with your Healthy Living show for another program today. You know, we had a great show last week with Dr. Yao.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
Fertility kind of a thing.
Holistic fertility.
Yeah, which is really cool because with you and your acupuncture practice, you do deal with that a lot, right?
That's my main specialty.
Yeah.
Acupuncture for fertility.
And you were mentioning something before we started the show today about how you were you've had some successes in this whole thing, right?
Last month we've had 4 women get pregnant that have been struggling, and it's very exciting. And the chances of that happening were 20 to 30%. So when you add the acupuncture, you add additional possibly increase of 50% more chance of doing the acupuncture. And everyone that we did this last month has gotten pregnant. It's super exciting.
So can you just give me just a thought of how does that work? Is it because of the areas that you're stimulating tends to help with ovulation and that kind of thing? Is that it?
Well, specifically with the acupuncture, we increase the blood flow to the uterus and the ovaries, and that helps nourish the eggs and the uterine lining for better egg quality and better implantation of the embryo. That's
so weird. You know, it's kind of like who'd have thunk. Growing up, I grew up in a family of doctors, and you know, think that putting needles into people's body can actually help them.
Actually, needles are considered a level 2 surgical device. Why? Because we're putting a needle in the body and we're directing the flow of blood and neurological energy throughout the body.
That's so
we're able to get inside the flow of the way the body moves and the nerves, the hormones with a needle by tapping in through the blood vessels and nerves.
Wow, that's so cool. And you know, we talk about things going into the body and the mental aspects. I mean, your healthy living is about health in general, involving everything. And it's kind of interesting because what we're going to have on today's show is a martial arts expert, which you would go, well, how does that work other than, you know, being able to maybe beat somebody up or be able to protect yourself, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
martial arts have a very deep spiritual origin.
Right.
And Chinese medicine has the same origin. Taoism was the philosophy that all of them came from, Chinese medicine and martial arts.
And what's really cool about that spiritual aspect is it helps people live better lives through discipline and being able
more harmony with nature.
That's awesome. And I'm really excited to talk to Kevin about that. He's going to be on the show
me too.
Right after we take our commercial break. But now it's time for McKenna Ray and some news to amuse. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, this is McKenna Ray. Welcome to the KIYS News to Amuse, where we like to share stories with you that'll make you smile, laugh, or just appreciate the spontaneity of life. We got a story for you today of a woman who is from San Antonio. She admits to being a coupon addict, and her desire was to help all the people that she could who were affected by Hurricane Harvey. She herself was affected by a hurricane back in 1999 and understood the struggle that follows with trying to recover from such a tragic incident. So from her couponing, her garage was stocked with items that she had collected over the years that you can find at discount. Things such as detergents, toothpaste, diapers, you name it, she had it. So she went onto her Facebook and made a post to anyone who was affected by Hurricane Harvey and offered her items for free to anyone who reached out to her. She was able to help plenty of people in doing so and said she would not quit until she ran out of everything to give. In Massachusetts, a man was trying to escape the police. While he was on the run, he decided to hop into a local business. He walked into the store and decided his best option was to blend in with everyone else around him. So he walked up to the counter and requested for an application. He also asked to be interviewed immediately, and so a manager came out shortly after and sat him down and started asking him typical questions that you would ask anyone who wanted to apply for a job. A few minutes later, the police burst into the building looking for this particular man and was able to spot him out even though he was sitting there being interviewed with the manager. They handcuffed him, took him into custody, and the manager of the business did admit it probably was the most interesting interview that he had ever given. He certainly left quite the first impression. However, I don't believe he'll be getting that job. This last one of mine that I've got for you today is a personal favorite because I myself am a lover of snakes. There was a man out in Arizona who was hosting a barbecue for some of his friends, and he happened to find a rattlesnake in his front yard. To amuse his guests, he decided he would catch the rattlesnake and show them how to cook a rattler. So he grabbed the snake, he walked over to his barbecue, holding it by its neck, and was posing for a photo. The snake slipped from his grip and aimed straight for his face, sinking his fangs right into his cheek. Of course, all of his guests were in quite a panic, and they rushed him to the hospital, where he was given anti-venom, which saved his life. The snake got away, free from any harm. The man, on the other hand, well, he definitely learned it's probably not the best idea to play with your food. I'm McKenna Ray, and this is the KIYS Radio Network, News to Amuse.
I do traditional Chinese medicine, and that includes 5 different branches: acupuncture, massage, yoga, tai chi, qigong, herbal medicine, and nutrition. It is amazing in helping the body heal itself, that it releases the body's natural endorphins, serotonin, and seems to rebalance the hormones of the body.
Lower back pain was taken care of very quickly, 6 treatments, and I was pain-free. And this was like 3 years ago, and I've remained pain-free.
I've grown up in the Bay Area, and I have had my own practice for over 15 years. When I was 12, I decided I want to be an acupuncturist, and by the time I was 25, I was licensed.
I have thyroid condition and stress, big time. When I walk out, I'm feeling like a whole different person. It's definitely a blessing to be able to come here.
I love helping women have babies, and the day that they actually get pregnant, the look in their eye is like, it's the best thing ever.
I've been struggling trying to get pregnant for the past 3 or 4 years. I came to Shasta. I would totally recommend her to anyone out there that is trying to get pregnant. She will do great for you.
Way of wellness has to do with living a life that keeps us well.
Hi there, this is Alexandrew with It's All About the Show. You know, I've been with Money Concepts since 1994, and they have been the primary catalyst for my success as a financial advisor. If you're looking for a career change and you want to help people for a living, check out moneyconcepts.com/ALEE or call 946-8378 today. Double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexandrew, and I'm here with
Dr. Shasta Tierra and Master Kevin Waldschmidt.
Yes, Kevin Waldschmidt. Wait, I always love talking to these guys that can kind of like beat me up and stuff, but he is, not that you guys do that or anything, but I tell you what, martial arts has been something that I did a little bit of it in college. Mm-hmm. And I was a gymnast, so it was really cool because I was pretty flexible. Mm-hmm. But Kevin, he's a 6th degree black belt, and he's the owner of Vision Martial Arts, and it's right here in the South Bay area. Master Waldschmidt has over 28 years in training experience and over 25 years of teaching, which is really cool because that experience, and look at the guy. I mean, he doesn't look like he's even 28 years old.
Exactly.
Well, he got a little gray, but not too much. I like that.
Thank you.
Vision Martial Arts operates 3 studios in San Jose, Almaden, Silver Creek, and Willow Glen, and there's just under 1,000 students combined. Man, that's a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Wow. Master Waldschmidt is recognized as one of the leading authorities in martial arts instruction in the country, providing consultation for other studios and staff. And Master Waldschmidt is teaching, has some teaching videos that you can find on YouTube, so be sure to check that out. And one of the reasons we have him here, Shasta, on our show, Your Healthy Living,
is because Kevin Waldschmidt has been helping children learn how to be mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally healthy through his martial art classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to share a little bit about what your intentions are with your classes and how you start off with the younger kids, the middle kids, the older kids, and what you see the problem is that you're addressing with your studios?
Yes, I'd love to. For our younger students, the 4-year-old and above, the kindergarten, preschool age children, we focus on 3 different elements: focus, confidence, and self-discipline and self-control. And what we find is that these are the 3 main elements that parents are most interested with their children, because obviously when they go to school, they want them to be able to pay attention to the teacher. Well, what stops them from being able to pay attention to the teacher? Self-control. They want to look outside, see what's going on. And then a lot of kids, they're shy. They just won't engage. They don't make friends. So our approach is to go and build up those 3 elements first and foremost. And we use the martial arts as more of a way of entertaining them, for lack of a better analogy, while we really develop their confidence, their focus, and their self-control.
Which is great. And you, and then the middle school kids, what are your main intentions with that?
So with our middle school kids, it definitely still focuses around those 3 elements, but we expand it more to look at their states of health. So helping them become physically strong, so that way they do better in whatever athletic activities they do. Becoming more mentally sharp, so that way they do better in school. Becoming more emotionally stable, so they don't have the anger fits or the rage that a lot of kids have. And more spiritually balanced, so that way they enjoy life. I mean, you're only a kid once, so we want to make sure that they're living the best life that they can, enjoying exactly whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah. And you were telling us earlier about the martial arts coming from more of a spiritual place to begin with. Would you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
When you say a spiritual element,
it came from a spiritual element before it turned into
martial arts. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I want to know.
Yeah.
So there's different concepts and theories about how martial arts got started, whether it goes back to the Egyptians or it goes back even earlier than that. But as far as modern day martial arts, I believe one of the best ways to track it is the story of Bodhidharma. And Bodhidharma was an Indian priest that basically made a pilgrimage from India to China, and his main focus was to go and work with the monks of China. And the reason why he was working with the monks of China is the monks of China were basically praying every day, and they were falling asleep during meditation from just heavy meditation. And so what he noticed along his travel was he viewed different animals fighting, and he created an exercise system for the monks called the 18 Hand of the Low Han, which is basically different postures, based on the different animals and fighting. And then eventually that postures started shifting into movement, and that basically became Kung Fu.
Wow.
And that's why Kung Fu is recognized as kind of the traditional art that everything else, the Latin, so to speak, of martial arts, and everything from Taekwondo to karate to everything pretty much stems around Kung Fu in some different aspects.
I got a question on the Kung Fu thing, because I've always been fascinated with Kung Fu, being that it's more of a sublime type of an art, more of using the physical aggression of the other person against them. Is that really the case as far as Kung Fu is in sense? I mean, I know you can still hurt somebody.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
The different, I'm asked all the time, oh, well, I do jiu-jitsu, or I do taekwondo, I do karate, I do Kung Fu. My art's better than your art. My country's better than your country. It really comes down to the perspective of the artist.
Right.
So if you have an artist that is more of what we call a hard style, which is direct, I can punch with physical force harder than you can go and take it.
Right.
And then they have things where internal style, which is a more of a soft, meditative, more of a circular style. So I've seen Kung Fu studios that were harder style than, say, a Taekwondo studio, which is more meditative and soft style, and Taekwondo studios that have been harder than Jiu-Jitsu, which has been harder than Kung Fu. I mean, so it really takes on the personality of the senior instructor, whoever it might go and be.
And what does your studio mainly focus on teaching?
So we focus more on child development than anything else. And so when parents bring us their children, it isn't necessarily to teach them how to beat up the kid next door, though that does come up every once in a while.
Of course it does.
It's more along the lines of, helping them. I think our black belts have a cumulative GPA over 3.9, so we want our black belts to do well in school. We have a number of senior students that are captains of their speech and debate team. We have students that are captains of their sports teams. And what we're really trying to go and do is just develop the all-around best students or people that we possibly can go and develop.
See, that's really cool, because I've always thought of the discipline of the arts, and I think a lot of people, like you said, just do it to,
beat up the neighbor.
Beat up the neighbor. But that, I think, has been missing in society for quite a while, is that discipline aspect, and we're starting to see this in certain generations that have kind of been raised in this more, both parents are working. You can't survive without both parents working, especially here in the Bay Area.
Right.
And now we've got this issue with our kids growing up that they don't have that discipline.
Right. The value is respect, for sure.
Right.
And kids spend so much time on cell phones and isolating, and it's about me, and it's about me, and it's never about us. And what we really try to strive for in the martial arts in our studio is taking more of a fishbowl approach to it that says, hey, I'm a member of this community. I'm going to be in service to others, help others. And by learning how to go and help others, others want to go and help you. So you end up, through exponential power and synergy, being able to go and utilize other people for assistance. They utilize you. And so you're able to become way more successful than when you're just basically on yourself and, hey, give it to me. It's all about me. I'm entitled. I want this. And we try to go and work together as a group to go and help everyone around us, and we end up getting more that way. And
I think that's really cool because, it's not just the kids. The parents have a huge role in this thing about how we're raising our kids.
For sure.
And being that we have to have a 2-parent income, especially here in Silicon Valley, to even afford a house, my gosh, you got to rent or you're not going to be able to afford a house here. But I think one of the things that I do want to cover and make sure we get into is how you might be able to talk to the parents. I got to guess you do consult with the parents as you have those kids.
A lot.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, we have all sorts of different parents, but I want to talk after this break here about how we do that. And we'll be right back after this break. Have you considered a career change lately? Have you ever thought about helping people for a living? At Money Concepts International, we've been helping people do better with their finances since 1979. We've helped thousands of financial advisors throughout the world create and develop their own financial planning practices. Imagine being able to help your friends, your family, and complete strangers with doing better with their finances, sending their kids to college, being able to retire comfortably. If you've considered changing your career, talk to Charles Ham or myself at 408-946-8378. That's 408-946-8378. And attend one of our fabulous financial planning schools. Again, 408-946-8378. And have a career that helps people have better lives.
At Way of Wellness, we help to rebalance the hormones of your body so that it can heal itself. Way of Wellness offers acupuncture, Chinese medicine, functional nutrition, Qi yoga, and wellness coaching. Call 408-615-1995 and start living the life that keeps us well.
Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexandrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta Tierra, and we are here with Master Kevin Waldschmidt from Vision Martial Arts. Kevin, we were going to have you talk about how you work with the parents to help them help themselves and their own children.
One of the most common things that I come across with parents is the parent wants to go and be the child's friend instead of the child's parent, and so they'll ask all the time, well, how do you go and, every time you are with the child or talk to the child just snaps too. And I think about a time when I was at a barbecue, and the mom looked over at the son and said, hey, Chauncey, I want you to eat your chicken. Oh, come on, Mom, I don't want to eat my chicken. Chauncey, eat your chicken. Oh, Mom, I don't want to eat my chicken. Master Waldschmidt, you say something? Chauncey, eat your chicken. Yes, sir.
I love that.
And so one of the things I recommend to parents is kids want choices. They want to go and develop their own power. So what you want to do is you want to go and give them opportunities to go and develop the power. So if you want them to do something like eat their vegetables, don't ask them if they want to eat their vegetables. They're going to say no. What you go and ask them instead is, hey, you know what? Would you prefer to go and have broccoli or cauliflower? Would you prefer to go and have peas or sprout, whatever it might go and be? Mm-hmm. You set it up at the scenario to where you're the winner, and you give them the choice. Like, well, I don't want broccoli or cauliflower. Well, that's not an option. Would you like? And you just stay strong. You be the parent.
Right.
The 4-year-old doesn't run the house. The parent does. So, would you like broccoli or cauliflower? The other, along the same lines, is what about physical activities? I can't get my child to go and do physical activities. Well, what is your child doing just previous to physical activity? Oh, they're playing video games. Well, then what happens is a negative connotation comes with the physical exercise because they're having fun playing video games. Instead, have your child do something they don't necessarily like to do. Okay, Billy, I want you to go and clean your room or take out the trash or do all these things. Oh, shoot, we're late for our soccer activity or whatever it is. Well, you want to go and clean up your room, or you want to go to soccer? Oh, Mom, can we go to soccer? Oh, wow, no shocker, you think? Yeah. So you set it up with the child. You set yourself up for nothing but a win situation. I don't really ever like setting people up to go and tell me no. So I'll always go and ask them questions where they have no
keep
choice.
Keep them open-ended.
Yes, exactly. Or
we know that in radio very well.
Exactly.
Keep the questions open-ended.
Would you prefer this or that? And don't set yourself up for failure.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'd love to hear some of the amazing, since you have like 1,000 children in your schools right now, obviously you have made a big difference in children's lives. Mm-hmm. And would you like to share a couple of remarkable stories?
Well, after 25 plus years and thousands of students, we have incredible stories. But even to this day, one more than any other really still, this is my crown jewel, so to speak, of teaching. We had this child who was high-functioning autistic, but was still autistic. And when he came in, he couldn't really, for lack of a better analogy, he had difficulty tying his shoes. And for the first 6 months to a year, we had to go and work with him privately. And he would stop every lesson to, Master Waldschmidt, it's time for a hug. And then he would give me a hug. And, okay, Ravi, it's not appropriate right now. Let's refocus. Master Waldschmidt, you come up for sandwiches after class? Well, Ravi, let's stay focused. So it was constant interruption and working with them. And finally, around Purple Belt, so it's after about a year or so in the program, I'm like, God, you know what? He's picking up everything really well. I think we can put him in regular class with the quote-unquote normal kids. And we put him in class with the normal kids, and he struggled a little bit at first, but he got a little bit better, and eventually got up to his junior black belt, which is one belt below black belt. And we were doing a graduation, and we were doing the board breaking portion of the graduation, and he had a fear of boards. Mm-hmm. So he would come up to the board to go to break it, and he would stop just short of the board, and try again, start just short of the board. And after like 15 minutes, and we're just beating sweat trying to get this board to break for him. And I have other instructors helping me, literally torquing the board as much as we can. For the love of God, please break it, please break it, please break it. And he finally broke the board. And it was like, oh yeah, it was such a great celebration. But then 6 months to a year later, he goes for his black belt testing. And I'm like, and I was curious of how the other students would accept him, because obviously he wasn't quote unquote normal. So we created a special black belt test portion for him, and we got to the end of the black belt testing, and we got to this board breaking portion, and all the kids started pounding on the ground, Ravi, and they're screaming for him, and he throws a big key up, boom, breaks the board, everyone erupts, and that was without a doubt the pinnacle of someone coming from so little and developing so far. It's just an incredible story.
Yeah, it's got to feel
So
good,
great.
man. I mean, you know
Thanks
what?
for
Most
doing
amazing
that,
moment you
community.
It
Bar
makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Bar none.
I love
Yes.
that story. Well, we're out of time. Kevin Waldschmidt from Vision Martial Arts. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. Goodbye. Have a great day. See you next week.